Hi everybody, welcome to Yoga with Anadil. I am Anadil. Thank you for joining me today for our Root Chakra Yoga practice together. Today we will be focusing down onto the base of the spine, the root of the spine. Often you see it coloured red, demonstrated by my beautiful chakra banner above me. So this banner represents the spinal column and the root is located at the base of the spine. Its function is around the endocrine of the testes, of the ovaries. It's related to our physical survival, our basic needs, a little bit like that of the foundational support of Maslow's hierarchy. So we'll breathe into this area, we'll get it nice and balanced, get rooted through today's practice. So please join me and sit in any way that's comfortable for you. And please allow a few moments to settle in to your beautiful selves, into your body, as we breathe. Allowing the breath to slow down, to widen. And I invite you to feel the areas of your feet, your sit bones, and the root, your pelvis, grounding into the earth. Gently press into this area to lift through the spine. Cultivating a slower breath. And let's begin our Root Chakra Yoga practice together by visualizing the breath entering through the nostrils, inflating the belly. So relax the belly muscles, even draw, push the belly away, and store the breath into the base of the spine. And on your next breath out, whenever that is, press gently your navel in towards your spine, inviting the breath to push back out of your nostrils, maybe your mouth. Breath in. Allow that breath to travel down your body into the base of your body. And breath out, allowing that breath to release through the nostrils or your mouth. One more time, big breath in. Igniting the associated color in this region, red, fire it up. And breathe it out. Let's open the eyes as we begin to move our body into the practice. So let's hold on to the knees and think about the pelvic region, even lower down to the sit bones, this entire root area. And begin, as you breathe your next breath in, to tilt it forward. You may feel your sit bones rooting in further, open through the heart, gently through the throat, inviting the shoulder blades to meet behind your back. And wait for your out breath and then ride that exhale as you empty out, tilting the very root of your spine, the tailbone, up towards the sky, tilting the pelvis up, heart towards the back, chin down towards your chest. Let's rock back and forth, following the rhythm and the length of your own breath. Breath in, tilting the pelvis, breath out, rocking the weight back, rooting through the sit bones, but lifting the root of your spine up towards the sky. Big breath in. Let's do that one more time. Keep going. Let's do it a few more times actually. Really waking up the energy, the warmth in this area. Ready for our deeper practice. Let's come to stillness and let's make our way onto all fours. So bringing the hands underneath your shoulders, placing the hands into the earth. Now imagine that your mat or whatever you're practicing on is like putty, and you want to make a very clear imprint of your fingertips, your entire hand actually, all the way into the mat. The knees are hip distance apart, as are the feet. So from here, we're going to start once again with your tailbone, the root of the spine. And we're just going to draw little circles in a clockwise direction. These circles can be small to begin with. And every breath in and out, let's visualize that breath being sent down through the entire body, storing into our base, our root, and then we'll begin to draw circles that are a little larger with the tailbone. And now let this ripple through your spine. So maybe your ribs want to get involved, your shoulders, and maybe even your head. Come to stillness, and we'll begin in the opposite direction. So going anti-clockwise now, just start small with your tail. Breathing into this area. Think about really tilting the pelvis back and forth. Getting larger with those circles. Inviting the ribs, maybe even the elbows. So get free, get funky, get happy as you enjoy moving deeper into the root, letting it ripple through your body. And let's come to stillness. Take the knees a little wider than your hip distance and bring the big toes together and invite the root and your hips all the way down towards your heels. And you can keep upright with your hands, with your heart, and gently press to invite a real rooting through this area. If you like, you can separate through the feet a little bit more, not too much pressure onto the knees, and see how it feels for you to sit all the way down towards the earth, really ground. And here we use the out breath to find a way, slowly, slowly, slowly down, and wherever you land, and it could be here, you can support yourself on your elbows. The important thing is to allow yourself to ease through the body wherever you've landed, so you're not holding any tension in the breath that holds the effort in your body. So just breathe openly and concentrate deep into this hip area and allow the breath to soften. If you want to make your way all the way down, offering your heart down and your forehead, you can do that too. Using the breath to inflate through the belly as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, heavy in the pelvis, in the pubic bone, down towards the earth. And then let's bring ourselves with a little bit more support on our hands by bringing our hands back. And very slowly and gently you begin to lift back onto all fours and bring your knees back underneath your hips into our box position. And from this box position, let's curl the toes under. And you can stay here and move into your cat posture to open the back, or you can take a deep breath, lift through the knees, pick up the tailbone and the hips up towards the air, bend through the knees, press into the hands and offer your belly all the way back towards your thighs. And take a moment here, get fluid, get playful. As long as you ride alongside the breath and you're just mindful of how this all feels for you. It's okay how you want to move, because how you move ultimately matters. Big breath in and out. Let's settle into your down dog. Pressing the fingertips towards the front of the mat to offer your belly back, and then you can work towards straightening the legs, allowing the heels to make their way back down towards the earth. Now let's look at our hands and take a very kind stroll up towards our hands. Feet hip distance apart, allowing the hands to fall down towards the earth. Take a moment here and just feel rooted through the feet. And I invite you to use your two peace fingers to ground. It's the mudra for the element of earth. So let's ground through here and just take a moment to feel that connection. Breathe your breath, emptying it out, rooting down towards the earth with every emptying of the breath out. Just enjoy that for a few more moments. Coming to stillness. Keep the knees bent. Let's just drop through the seat a little bit. Your sit bones, your tailbone, your root down towards the earth. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, allow the arms to be heavy, the head to be heavy as you curl on up. In your own time, with as many breaths as you would like, to come up to standing. We'll spread the toes, we'll root down through the feet. I'm just going to turn to the front so you can see. And we'll shift your weight from left to right. Remembering that putty in the earth that you want to clearly imprint. Now to get grounded a little bit more, to ignite through the roots, you can actually stamp a little bit. And you can really get into this if that feels good. You can even take a few jumps if you're feeling like you want to be free. You can really shake it out. But the important thing is to feel the impact of the ground. The grounding. Feel grounded as you root. And let it settle down. Now, imprint all areas of the feet firmly into the earth and just let the breath settle into this lower region of the base. The translation of mula, the base. Breathing slowly. Please bring your hands to heart center. Wait for your next in-breath. Let's draw the arms up and wide. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to heart center. As you breathe in, lift through the hands up towards the sky. And you may even like to keep the tailbone heavy, your root heavy towards the earth. And gently lift your heart towards the sky without collapsing the back of your head. As you breathe out, bend through the knees, empty out your breath, let it go to ground. As you use today your 2 peace fingers, if you can, to reach down towards the earth and bend the knees as much as you can in order to do that. Now as we breathe in, stay rooted through the fingers. Begin to straighten the legs, and if you feel like your hands are going to release the earth, then that's where your legs remain. We're lifting the heart up, so we're making a tabletop with our spine. The back of the neck is long as you breathe. Keeping the 2 peace fingers rooting, grounding. Breath out. Bend the knees even more and flatten the hands onto the earth, and let's step the right leg back and the left leg back into our down dog. And just take a couple of breaths here. You can be on your knees if you prefer. But with that concentration onto our tailbone, with the heels making their way down towards the earth, lift up through the kneecaps and the quads. Let's be active, root and get that energy up through the body. From the tailbone, take your tailbone and your sit bones up towards the sky. And if that means you find a lot of arching in your back, gently pull your navel up towards the spine and your heart towards the back to create a nice, strong, straight back. And then we'll lift through the right leg. Bend into the right knee and bring the knee into nose. So your shoulders sweep over your wrists and you come up high on the ball of that back foot onto your toes and step that through as best as you can, helping it along. Now keep your fingers on the earth and drop down to the back knee. Once again, peace fingers on the ground today as we breathe in to our equestrian pose. Breathing in, the heart goes up and you root through the fingers. Now as you can see, my knee is going past my ankle. So to keep the joints nice and safe, I want to just shuffle my foot along so the knee stacks over the ankle and doesn't go past it. Release the breath out, and as you breathe in, you bend into this front leg. Invite the hips down as you ground through your 2 peace fingers. And we'll stay here and breathe. This may feel like enough. You might like to try and curl your back toes under. And if you can stay grounded with your left fingers, you could even rest your right forearm onto your right thigh and seal through the forefinger and thumb. These mudras, these seals, contain your focus, your energy, your breath, rather than expelling them away from you. And again, press into all that is rooting. Get your roots nice and deep, and then lift through the heart. Big breath in through the belly, into the very base of the spine. And please relax your jaw and smile. As we release the lunge, bring both hands to frame that front foot. And let's bring that front foot to meet the back. Placing the hands onto the earth, shifting the shoulders over the wrists. Now we're going to make our way down to the belly. So you can do that in any way that suits you, or you might like to try half plank, or if you have it in your practice, you can have full plank. So with half plank, the knees are down, the insides of the elbows sweep forward, and you don't hang out into the spine. So the strong core with your navel back in. Keep pressing, we're going to breathe. And as you breathe out, you bring your chest and your chin down towards the earth. Now please rest your forehead on the ground and take your arms and lay them beside you. And spin your palms so that your palms are now grounding. And just spend a moment to breathe here. I'm just going to lift my head so you can hear me. And this is the most grounded that we can be with our physical body. So press the forehead in. Walk your fingertips back so that the shoulders move down towards the feet. And then gently engage the glutes and press in to your pelvis, your pubic bone into the earth. This may engage the knees and the quads a little bit more, which is good. And then feel your toenails firmly pressing into the ground. And remember to return to your big belly breath. Not your big belly, your big breath in the belly. Big breath in, and as you do, and your belly inflates, engage the glutes even more, press into the palms root, through the pelvis, the pubic bone, and maybe the heart lifts up. Breathe it out. Relax the glutes. Wait for your next in-breath. Take a breath or two if you want to, and maybe readjust through your alignment, through your feet, wherever you feel you want to get more comfortable. Wait for your next in-breath, engage the glutes, press the root in, and lift through the heart. You might feel like your hands and your feet want to lift, as long as the root, the core, the base of your pelvis is pressing in. That's the place for igniting. Bring it down. Well done. Take a moment. Find your alignment, find your breath. Take a big breath in and out. And then maybe we have one more go on the next one. So first of all, stay grounded with the feet and the hands. Big breath in, root through the pelvis, the pubic bone. And maybe you can feel a little bit more flight into the fingertips. Spread the toes, big breath in and breath out. Well done. Let's bring the hands underneath shoulders, maybe underneath the elbows. Wait for your next in-breath and press on up onto all fours, lifting the spine into your cat posture. And keep that cat posture as you bring your root, the tailbone, all the way down into child's pose. Bow the head, ground through the forehead. Let's lift on up onto all fours. Curl the toes under and return to our down dog. Now you can stay on all fours. Oh, excuse me. So just take a moment or two as you breathe here. And this time allow the heel of the right foot to make its way down on ground as we lift with a strong core, so the movement's coming from the pelvis of our left leg. As we breathe out, bend that knee. You can point your toes, come up high in the ball of that back foot and go for kissing that knee. And step it through. Dropping that back knee into our equestrian pose on the left side. So bringing the two peace fingers to root into the earth underneath our shoulders. Rock the hips back for a moment. Make sure the hips are being nice and square and level. Protect your spine as you breathe. Big breath, lift the heart up. The shoulder blades meet behind your back. Feel like you're going for cracking that walnut behind you. Maybe something not so, maybe something not so, a little bit gentler, let's say. So go for squeezing the shoulder blades behind your back as you breathe. Ease off. Let's do that one more time. Let's root, toes down, and the back foot can be flat or with your toes curled under. And breathe here. And so rather than leaning over to try and get the fingers down, you're aiming for lifting the heart as you root. And if you want to, you can try to rest your left forearm onto your left thigh and seal the breath, the focus, through the forefinger and thumb there. Keep dropping through the root, and as you breathe every breath, fire up through this entire area as you breathe. Releasing the hands down. I like to be on fingertips just to save my wrists if I'm feeling a bit fatigued in the wrists. And then you can shift. Let's shift the front foot to the back and take a moment in your box pose. Curl the back toes under. And let's make our way into the garland pose, Malasana, which is the yogi squat. So we can curl our toes under, lift through the knees, and I'll just face the camera so you can see. And then you widen so that you can sit comfortably with your heels making their way down towards the earth. Now, if your feet are not flat on the earth, then you flatten them. And if that means you end up lifting, then that's the position for you to work into the hips. The alternative is you can use a rolled blanket, any bricks or any props you have to hand to support underneath you, because you really do not want to overextend into the Achilles by doing this. And the other option is, especially good if you have any ankle issues, is to take the bound ankle pose to move into the hips in this direction instead. So whichever version you're doing, you move into that now. and you drop into the heels and flatten through the inner edges of your feet and then the outer edges. And this opens through the knees a little bit more. We'll press the palms together, and what this does is it encourages an opening in the hips a little further. Allow that ballooning belly breath to rise and fall and really send the energy, the focus down into the tailbone. And get heavy into the tailbone. Keep lifting the heart. Keep widening through the knees and imprint clear footprints into the putty beneath you as you breathe. Lift the heart to plug into the thumbs and keep the back of the neck long, so you might just like to drop the gaze down very slightly past your nose, your drishti, your meditation point, and breathe here. And now if this gets really uncomfortable for you, take more support underneath your feet, maybe even underneath in between the back of your knees. Or you come to your seated posture. Bring the soles of the feet together and work into Baddha Konasana, the bound angle pose. It's quite nice just to rock back and forth if that's comfortable for you. And we'll spend a few breaths here, opening through the breath, softening through the body. Feeling very open in the base of the spine, in the root, feeling warm perhaps through the ignition of that fire. As you breathe. And release, bring the hands down and just lift yourself onto your balls of the feet and make your way on to your bottom. Let's bring the feet out in front of you and just ease through the effort of our malasana, or our garden pose. So let's rest the hands beside us and very gently drop your knees to the left, and they don't have to go all the way down. As you breathe out and in from side to side. And as you feel a little bit more open with each sweep of the knees, the heart can begin to move and the gaze can begin to move in the opposite direction to the knees. And if it feels nice for you just to hang out on one side, then yogi's choice, keep that there. As long as you do both sides equally. And come back up to having the feet flat on the earth. So please make sure you have enough space behind you on your mat. And depending on your energy, you can simply lay down, or you can lift through the knees, hold underneath your knees, and curl on up into a cute little ball. Separate through the shoulder blades. Big breath in, and just take a few rocks up and down. It's just a playful way to make your way down. It also feels like a nice little massage through the spine. And this also gives us great training for different parts of the practice later on. And then once you're on your back, let's place the feet down. You can keep the knees bent and rest your knees against each other. And let's drop the palms and rest them down onto your pelvis, maybe into the creases of the hips, into the groin, around the groin area, the pelvis, the pubic bone. Just rest your hands where you intuitively want to around this area. If you'd like to stretch your legs out, you can go ahead and do that now. Allow the feet to be as wide as the mat, if not more. And just shake the feet out and let them fall open. And either way, the shoulders are shuffling down towards the feet. And just spend a few moments here, or as long as you like, for as long as you have, to travel through the body, from your toes, allowing the body to rest, to sleep, as you surrender it to ground. Surrender the shins, the knees to ground. Hold nothing in your body or your breath. Ease through the thighs, front and back, through the pelvis, particularly the areas you're connecting to with your fingertips, your hands. Slow, open breath. Sleepy breath. Send that breath through the entire front of the body. And as you breathe out, empty out the breath as the back of the body surrenders to ground. Relax through the shoulders. Get heavy and soft through the elbows, the jaw, the throat. Find freedom in the throat, in the jaw, the cheeks, the forehead. Make sure there's space in between your brows. And continue to feel free from this physical body as you let it rest. Spend a few moments here. Simply enjoy your breath, following your rooted practice today. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I look forward to practicing with you again next time.